Hey the guys, and welcome back. We're gonna go over the couple revealed cards we got for the game. So there's some of the new cards that are coming. Haven't seen them, but once I went onto Reddit and looked for them, it was like, oh, Roach hate. So we're gonna see what that's all about. But let's get into the first one here. We got Quacks. I really hope this card doesn't become meta, because God, you guys are gonna witch hunt me over this. I have no clue how to even start pronouncing that name. If any of you guys know, let me know, please, because that is ridiculous. Quacks. 7 power, deal 5 damage to self. When this unit's current power equals its base power, deal 7 damage to up to 3 random units. So either you heal it by 5, or you make its power the same as its original power, so it'd have to be something like Talisman, or something like that. Because you can't even put it in Moonlight and hope that it boosts up. But then you get to do 7 damage to 3 random units. If it wasn't random, I think it'd be a lot better. Because like with all the Swarm and stuff out right now, you're probably going to ping like a 1, a 3, something else. Because 7, 14, 21, 28 power gold. If you use a Talisman on it. This'll be a fun card to mess around with, that's for sure. But I mean, I don't think it's going to be really viable unless just units, decks come back that like every unit's like 5 or higher power at least. I don't know. If Swarm decks and stuff are still around, you're going to lose out on value against that. But still, this has a possibility of being really strong. But I just don't think it's going to really see play. It's kind of interesting though. That's a cool card. Alright, let's get into the next one. Dandelion Vainglory. Boost self by 3 for each Geralt, Yennefer, Triss, and Zoltan card in your starting deck. So it's another one where you can manipulate your deck and make them a strong card. But these are all gold only. So if you run one of each or whatever, some combos that we have, your other 3 gold slots are them, then he's an 18 power gold. He might be funny actually in a Ciri Nova deck. You run this guy in Ciri Nova and like some other Geralt, Triss, or Zoltan card, and then you have an 18 power gold and a 22 power gold. The 18 power gold doesn't sound as impressive at all. I mean, that's limiting your deck a bit just to run an 18 power gold. I guess not so much if you're running Ciri Nova though, because then Ciri Nova, you usually run Geralt Igni anyway. So then your last card would have to be a Yennefer, Triss, Zoltan, or another type of Geralt card. That's a pretty cool card. I mean, it's probably going to be as cancerous as Ciri Nova is, but only that type of deck type card, but still kind of interesting. Oh, here we go, Roach. Roach Merciless. Destroy a face down ambush unit, then draw a card. Whew. Well, I mean, he does absolutely nothing if you don't destroy an ambush unit. But that is a huge upside. Just draw a card if your opponent's ever running ambush. So rip ambush ever being good. And ambush cards are really good in arena. So this guy's an instant pickup in arena probably. Unless people just stop drafting ambush units because they're sick of losing to this guy. That's great. Then just draw a card. That's huge. They'll probably be changing him, sort of like the Geralt Yarden. They changed that card before it came out, because this is just going to keep Ambush from ever being number 1, most likely. I don't know, even if Ambush was number 1, it'd have to be to the point where like 80% of people are running it. For like you to run Roche Merciless in a Northern Realms deck, because he's just a dead gold otherwise. But in Arena, yeah, that's not cool for Arena. He's definitely most likely in this to pick up. And Yennefer Necromancer, 5 power, resurrect a bronze or silver soldier from your opponent's graveyard. It's bronze or silver. So I mean, that's kind of cool. Pretty much every deck runs a soldier type, I think. I know Skeletal has a ton, Nilfgaard has a ton, Monsters doesn't have any, and Northern Realms has a decent amount. So pretty much as long as you're not fighting monsters, this card could probably get you decent value. It depends. Because if you're facing like alchemy, then they don't have any soldiers anyway. This is an arena card, pretty much, just because they're bound to draft a soldier sooner or later. In which case, it's not too bad of a draft, I guess. Next we got Imlerith Sabbath. 5 power. Duel the highest enemy on turn end. If this unit survives, heal it by 2 and give it 2 armor. 2 armor on deploy. That sounds fun. This card sounds fun, but it's 5 power. Oh, it's Wild Hunt though. It is Wild Hunt, so you could use because I mean, if you ran that old deck profile that I did that D Kook made like a Wild Hunt Longships Necker spamming, like you use the Necker Warriors to create a bunch of Wild Hunt Longships, and then you spammed them out and you played some other like Wild Hunt units. This guy might be kind of cool. I don't think he's going to be viable, maybe. Could try him out in a Wild Hunt deck that's based around multiplying those Wild Hunt Navigators, or Wild Hunt Longships, the ships that boost all other Wild Hunts by 1. Because then, if you have 3 of them out, he's an 8 power with 2 armor, in which case he's already better than Northern Realms Gold. And Gold dual unit. Plus he heals. But it's heal and not boost. So if you're over the limit, then it's not really going to make a difference. But if you got this guy going and he actually lived for a turn, you could Mandrake him or use Wyvern Shield on him. Oh, there's a couple fun ideas with this guy. I don't know if he's going to be competitive. He might in his pure Wild Hunt deck, but then you can't really run Wyvern Shields if you run that because they don't really have that many high units besides Wild Hunt Warrior. That'd still be a plus 10, and he's just destroying the highest unit on your opponent's side of the field every turn. And gaining 2 armor every time. This card's looking fun. Very fun, at least. I know about very good, but very fun. As long as you have this set up beforehand. Like, you need the Wild Hunt Longships and stuff, so that way it doesn't get just Elzerd thundered. And if you can make him sit around for a turn, just a turn, you could pull off some pretty fun shenanigans, I think. And he's not doomed, so you can res him if you Mandrake him. If you get to Mandrake him, and he goes up to an 11, and you res him, he's an 11 power with 2 armor, that duels the highest unit, and heals by 2 with 2 armor every time. You just gotta get that Mandrake on him. Like, if you could guarantee the Mandrake on him, this guy would be, this guy's gonna be fun. I don't care. I'm gonna try to make him work. Triss Telekinesis. Create a bronze. Create a bronze special card from either player's starting deck. 6 power. Okay, well, I mean, okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Because it can be your deck and your opponent's deck. So pretty much you're probably gonna run her when you run certain special cards. Like something like Mock and Foul Ale. Her with Foul Ale, that's a 22-point play if you get the full Foul Ale. Right? 24. That's stronger than Siri Nova. Whoo. Oh, bronze special card. Rip. It's not stronger than a Siri Nova. Mahakamail. That's like your best bet. So that's 18. But if you start running a Crow's Eye deck, a pure Crow's Eye deck, it creates one. So that's a bonus one. So then you could have 4 Crow's Eyes in your deck, in which case your last Crow's Eye is doing 8, 16, 24 damage if there's an 8 power unit in each row. It's kind of hard to count on your opponent setting yourself up for that, but maybe. There might be some shenanigans with this. These cards so far seem like a bunch of shenanigan cards that are going to be pretty fun to try to make work. Let's see, next one. Dandelion Poet. Draw a card, then play a card. Oh, this guy's going to be great. Is he neutral? Yeah, okay. This guy's... I want to say it too early, guys, but I think this guy's going to be an auto-include in a lot of decks. Draw a card, then play a card. So you get to draw a card. It's deck thinning. And then you get to play any card from your hand, so it's plus 6 on whatever play you make. That's way better than Joam DeWitt, and I know tons of people would run Joam DeWitt in their deck if they weren't Nilfgaard. I would. And I mean, he is gold though, so it's +1 from a Joam DeWitt, but you get to actually pick the card that you play instead of it being a random unit. Draw a card, then play a card. Yeah, this guy's gonna be great. I don't see him being bad. I see him being included in a lot of decks. A lot. Alright, next. Series Fearless. Resurrect the next unit you discard 6 power. How? She's so low. So whatever you make with the next play would have to be really high. Like the unit they actually res with discarding it. Unless you use it as like, you disloyal unit your opponent, then you play her, and then you'd gain technically some tempo in round 3, but you'd have to guarantee round 1 win then. What kind of shenanigans you should pull off? King Braun. Something with King Braun. Because then you can discard any card from your deck. And it's not limited to gold, silvers, or bronzes. So it could be any unit. What about if you do Siri Nova? Siri Nova and like 2 of those other guys that are 4 powers when they come out. So you play her, that's a 6 power play, that's really low tempo. Play King Braun, you get a 22 power, 2 power, 2 5 powers. That's 24, 41 point play in the end. Yeah, 41 point play in the end for 2 cards. So that averages out to like 220. And you used up your leader, 2 golds. I guess that's alright. In that case, that's like Siri Nova though. You have to be using Siri Nova. What? Reltic. What about maybe in a Siri Dash deck she'd be actually pretty good. And not for discarding the series, but because you could actually run that Reltic card if you don't run any spells or don't have any spells in your hand. That'd be pretty interesting because like you use King Braun, you discard Siri Dash, and 2 other cards, whatever, the Wolfsbane and the 5 power unit, 4 power unit that becomes 5. And then you play the Reltic card that you get to search your deck for any card and then discard a random card in your hand. And then after that, any card that it discards would automatically be rezzed on the field, so you wouldn't be screwed. And you'd guarantee the Siri Dash in your hand, so you can discard it, like send it back with something like Johnny or something like that. Or at least get an extra discard on it. That'd be pretty cool. I'm going to want to try her out with that for sure. The only other way I see her being really good is Siri Nova. Because, I mean, that's a decent 2 cards, and you get like 41 power. As a finisher, if you could actually hold on to your King Braun ability the whole time, and those other cards in your deck, I guess. Or maybe some shenanigans with Valintra Tenemirth. Because you'd have a bunch of low units if you did it with her, and then King Braun, and then you discarded Valintra Tenemirth. And you'd probably pull off the Scorch if you're running that type of deck. But Skellige doesn't have too many good low units that don't interact with like higher power units, so that'd be harder to pull off. She's going to be fun. Going over these cards a bit longer than I thought I would, just because they're actually really interesting. I wasn't expecting cards like this. Mourn Forest Child. 6 power ambush. When your opponent plays a bronze or silver special card, flip over and cancel its ability. Well, why did we have to get that Vernon Roach now? Because ambush is going to be even more fun to play. Like, the more ambush cards we get, the better, because they'll have different abilities, and then you won't... When your opponent plays that face-down ambush card, you're not going to know what they have. And she stays around like Torval. So until they play that special card... Specials. A lot of decks run specials that'll cancel out a Runestone, Foul Ale, Mahakam, Poultist, things like that. That could be pretty killer against a lot of decks. But then if they don't run any specials, you got a 0 point play. So in that case, you just discard her or something, not play her. It's one of those risky decks, like something like Necker Warriors, of course, Necker Consume, because they don't have any special cards. But I mean, if you're playing something like Alchemy, she cancels out a Foul Ale. Well, they'll probably play the Mahakam Ale first to make sure She has an 18-point gold. That's not too bad. And you cancel out a runestone. That could be really good. But then you're really vulnerable to a dry pass because, I mean, you're making a 0-point play. So if they pass you, she's not going to flip. Ever. So it'd have to be like a round 3 thing that you use her in. Yeah, round 3 play, I guess. In round 3, she could be pretty good. But I mean, yeah, Vernon Roach is... Roach is kind of no fun. Alright, last one. Droll Professional. Oh, we got another Droll. Cool. This card art's pretty cool. Kind of seems weird compared to the other ones. Because this looks like more of a comic book type art. 7 power. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. If it's monster unit, destroy instead. So he's 11 power? Why do you have the worst cards drilled? 11 power in most cases unless you fight a monster deck. And then it's, who knows how much value. You could kill a Toad Prince or a Forktail with this and get insane value. Of course, they're making, I wonder if the Necrophages are going to count as monster units. Because they said this new patch is going to have a bunch, or new set is going to have a bunch of vampires and stuff. Are they going to count as monsters? It's going to be like vampire dedicated? Because if those count as monsters, maybe. Or if they really start seeing play, but we know how they do archetypes. They introduce them with not enough cards for you to actually play them well enough against other competitive decks, and later on, like maybe next patch or something, they'll become actually decent. Because I mean, like, they always sit in that range where they're like tier 2. The new stuff, like we got Cursed right now, Cursed Northern Realms, that's alright, but needs a couple more things, or Reltics that they started building on now, that's alright, but it needs like one more Reltic bronze unit to be really strong. So I don't know. He's pretty crappy, guys. That's my final verdict on him, unless somehow those vampires are counted as monsters, then they become OP strong, so. That's all the cards, though. My favorite ones is this thing, Iroharo Quacks, for sure. I like that one. Imlerith Sabbath, he's going to be so fun to mess around with. Triss Telekinesis is just going to seem, I think this is going to be, oh no, it doesn't grab, that's right, it's bronzes. That one's just meh. Dandelion Poet's going to be strong. That's just a ridiculous effect. That is going to be an amazing card for sure. And then Ciri Fearless is definitely one of my favorites too, because I got a few ideas for her. I want to try them out. And besides that, I mean, it's kind of cool to see all these different effects, like different supports to other archetypes and stuff. I like it overall. I mean, I can see why people are freaking out about the Roach Merciless. Just because it's like, why make a silver bullet card to a class that's not even really played and can be played that well, and then introduce a new ambush card to maybe it'll actually be alright now. Just because ambush units are decent in Arena. And everybody's going to be drafting ambush units if they can get it, so if you draft Roach Merciless, like, that's just free win. Not really free win, I guess, because they could have a Roach Merciless and then they kill your ambush unit. But still, draw a card. They should not be putting... That's like, kill a unit and draw a card. How does a card get that effect? I don't care what its conditions are. Like, oh. And then have 5 power too. Like, you don't even have to give your enemy any power. Maybe if he was disloyal, it'd be slightly less retarded. Because then at least you give your opponent 5 power and then you kill 11 power and you still get +6. That's better than Shoop's Bizarre Adventure rolling his draw card power. Yeah, that's problematic. I don't know. I don't like silver bullet cards. They're my least favorite in card games, but they do usually exist, so. Usually, though, to counter, like, in paper card games, to counter, like, cards that they can't change or they don't want to errata, so they just come out with some cards that are like, oh, here, put this in your side deck and you'll beat that card. Well, that's my thoughts on these things, guys. Looking like some interesting cards coming. I'm kind of worried that they showed us 10 golds. Where's the silvers and stuff? There's 10 golds already? Are we getting another huge patch? Like, 10 golds, sure, if we're getting like 125 cards again. Or however many we got this last patch. But if we're only getting like 40 cards or something, This is 1/4 of the pool of golds. In golds, we already have 100 of them compared to commons and stuff. Well, alright. That's it for this one, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a good one.